All right. Well, if there is one thing we are not known for here on the Comics Are Dope podcast, it is long and eloquent intros to our guests. So I got one for you though.
Okay.
Tonight's guest, I have been calling my cousin on the internet for like a year, and she's never corrected me. So that means it's canon. So welcome to the Comics Are Dope podcast, my cousin Stephanie Williams.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well. How are you, cousin?
I'm actually pretty good. Yeah, I think I'm just choosing to be pretty good today because it's been rough, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's wild out here. It's hard out here for a man.
It's crazy. But here we are. And we get to do something that is possibly the best thing on earth, and that's talk about comics.
Right, right. And yeah, last time we did this, it's been a minute. It's
Yeah.
been a minute. But I've been seeing you around. We stay in touch online and stuff. You have been quite busy.
Yes. It's
So,
probably seemed like, when does she sleep? I do sleep, but I can assure you of that. Had a hard time getting up this morning, but yeah, a lot of it long time coming. One of those things where it was like, oof, gotta plant this seed and I gotta watch it grow, and it's growing like really, really, really slow. And then all of a sudden, I don't know, super rain came down and everything started to sprout and sprout very, very bodaciously.
mm,
Oh wow, I've been writing Street Sharks for too long. I can't believe I said that.
that is amazing. So, I'll front load this with all the things we're here to promote because it's a long list. You have comics coming out 3 weeks in a row, starting
Which
next
is
week.
insane. Yes.
Right? So we got Street Sharks number one in all series debuts. We got Street Sharks coming out September 24th. We've got Roots of Madness coming out October 1st. And then we've got Temporal coming out October 8th.
Yeah.
And that's only three things you've got going on. We got web comics. We've got all these random like,
Side
hey, here's a
quest is
custom
what I was.
comic. You got to go to the AARP reunion to get this one.
Yes. Okay, you're
And
joking, but that legitimately would probably be a real custom comic.
listen, it's Old Man Logan. We
Yeah.
got, like the NASCAR museum to get this one.
Hmm.
It's, it's just wild. I'm like, I don't know how we're gonna fill in this Stephanie Williams checklist if we have one, because it's all
Oh,
over the
good
place.
luck. Yeah, yeah. Like for instance, the Thunderbolt one had no idea it was going to be Regal Theater that actually ended up. They were just like, when I got the assignment, it was like, hey, so just write something into the script so the artist can leave like ad space open. So I had a billboard. I had to make sure she had like a coffee cup just in case he went to Dunkin' Donuts. She was actively like using a laptop just in case, I don't know, HP or Dell or whatever wanted to do a thing. So like that was interesting. And then it ended up at Regal Theater of all places.
Wow.
And I still haven't seen the movie Thunderbolts.
I haven't either. My wife has seen it.
Yeah.
She says it's good.
That's what I keep hearing. It's just, when I get to it,
Yeah. If I don't go to the theater, I probably won't see the movie. Is how it's been
you know
going for me.
what? That's for Marvel movies or just superhero movies in general, yes. Other things, like I really wanted to see Weapons in theater, but it just didn't happen. Because I had conventions every single weekend in August, and the only time I got a chance to actually go to the theater on the weekend, I had to see Fantastic Four
Mm.
because the town I was in only had a small theater with four screens, and it was Fantastic Four, Naked Gun, Bad Guys 2, which I wish I would have realized because I would have watched that. And then something else I don't remember, but it wasn't Weapons. And I was like, damn. So we're gonna do this as a family has been my new vocal stem since then.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw Superman. I got a chance to see
Oh,
Superman.
yes. Saw that.
Like I don't, somehow I got two screening tickets. Like one of my friends bought
Okay.
out a theater, and then we did the Amazon Prime joint. So
Okay, yes.
my wife and I went to the Amazon IMAX joint, and that was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
And
We went as a family too. I maxed it up. Yep.
yeah, and I really enjoyed Superman.
I would have as well if my son wasn't sitting next to me giggling like a hyena because he, he passed gas, I guess. I didn't
Oh,
hear it, of
okay.
course. So, and I mean, he's 9. It's funny. Gas is funny, whatever. So he's cracking up like a hyena, and then it made me laugh. And then for a good 30 minutes of that movie, I'm giggling like a 7-year-old with my child.
I think the best part about, farts in public, right, is just watching for other people's reactions. Like, do they smell it? Are they gonna try to play it cool? Is it like, how's it gonna go?
Okay, I know I'm derailing this, and we have not even talked about comics yet, but one more thought on
Mhm.
that. Um, so I've been flying a lot, of course. A few times I've been able to sit in first class because I've been able to upgrade my ticket with points. Um, first class going first gas is what it's been. Um, and like, look, I get it. Like, you're gonna have gas no matter what, where you are on the plane. But in first class, G, like the
Yeah.
bathroom is right there. It's you don't even have to like you is this the aisle is just wide enough for you to like get through and not really have to say excuse me. You ain't got to travel all the way to the back. It's right there.
Listen, man. Well, no, I guess they paid to be able to, do
I
it.
didn't pay for that. Well, I didn't pay for it at all, but that's not the point.
It's not. It's not.
That's not the point.
Yeah.
So, okay, enough about gas. Oh, well, now I
Uh,
gotta fit in like some type of gas joke into something, and I think I know what. Okay,
okay.
okay. Now go on. I'm gonna
All
write
right.
this
All
down.
right. So,
This,
yeah,
this,
you've been busy. It's been a whole
yes.
lot of conventions, a whole lot of writing, a whole
Mm-hmm.
lot of projects coming into fruition. A few things still unannounced, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's funny because it's like when I see you, in the streets, it always brings me back to our first conversation. And I'm like
Mm-hmm.
asking, like, while you've got this little window, do you feel like you got to just really take advantage of it? And it seems you definitely have.
Mm-hmm. This business is about momentum. You got a wave going, you want to get as much out of it as you can. Like whether this is healthy or not, like I'm always thinking of my next project while I am starting the first whatever for the project that I'm
Mhm,
currently working on. Just because you just never know. It's a lot of throwing stuff at the wall and hoping that something sticks.
mhm,
And in my case, last year was, I guess, a down year. Maybe others won't think that, but for me, it felt like that. And I'm glad that it did feel that way because it lit an extra fire under my butt to like just do things that I wasn't doing before. So like reaching out to editors, sometimes kind of cold pitching and seeing what happens. Making sure that like when I was at conventions that I was doing my due diligence to like go around and like talk to my peers and just see what they're doing and just really get a feel for what was going on and like what could be coming next.
mhm,
And if editors or something were at conventions, like finding that out and linking up with them just to talk because I've learned that sometimes you end up getting a job or someone has you in mind simply because they've gotten to know you as a person.
mhm,
Street Sharks is a great example of that, that I've been able to show who I am at my core. And then also some of the stuff that I've worked on. And Heather Antos was like, sounds like a Stephanie Williams thing. And that was how that ended up happening. And she was so right about that because Street Sharks was so, huge for myself and my brother. So the going out into the creator owned space. That's something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. But um, I like to operate when I feel ready, I guess.
mhm,
And not that I didn't think that I had it in me, but I wanted to make sure that I was growing as a writer, so that I would be able to give, these stories of my own the best version of me possible. And I'm like, I'm still learning. But I'm so happy that I'm able to, pitch and, have two creator owned projects coming out 4 years in. I don't know. I just feel like I've learned so much, and like now was just the perfect time to go forth with both of those.
I'm glad to hear that, this feels like a sort of inhale, exhale thing for you,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Because I don't know, from the outside, it just looks like this woman is always busy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, how much of this is like out of some like weird survival instinct? How much of this is like, I gotta get it while I can get it? Like, how much of this is healthy ambition versus
Uh-huh.
like this unhealthy like scarcity mindset drive?
Yeah.
Not to be putting mental stuff on you, right? But that's just
Yeah.
that's just the concern that I have. Like I'm like, all right, like does she know she's good?
Yeah, yeah, yes. So I'm so happy you brought that up. I would actually say that my first 2 years was out of a scarcity, like, I don't know, because I knew that like one, Black women weren't really writing comics in the main space like that, or having opportunities to do so at a rate that you could be consistent.
Mhm.
The odds of you getting a solo book, unless you create it yourself, slim to none. Or like maybe, every year one or two of us is picked, and then that's and that's it. And there are so many Black women writers who I felt like, absolutely deserve that.
Mhm.
Before I did, right? So I'm like, I wasn't even counting myself in that way. So I was just kind of taking what I could, because again, I knew that I needed to get my reps in. The more interactions and stuff that I can have with editors, not even on them getting to know me perspective, but absorbing their notes and learning how to work with different artists, and how to apply notes, or what's good editorial feedback and what isn't. All of these things, saying, eventually getting to a point where it's like you have to say no to certain stuff,
Mhm.
and you can't operate out of this scarcity fear mindset. And I think that switch happened for me in year 3, and that's why it was a slow year. Because not only was, the broader universe trying to say, hey, like, well, if you said that you learned your lesson, like, I'm gonna test you on that. And if not, then you were gonna be right back where we started. And at first it was frustrating, it was scary. At one point I was questioning, like, well, do I suck? And like the luck finally ran out. Like what is it? It was none of that. I had to go back and just I don't know, like really look at how far I've came and why I'm here in the first place and all of these things. And it's just like, well, you're here because you fought to be here, and then two, like you've always wanted to storytell, and like this is what you love comics, like you're adding to all of these things that you care about and having impact on others in the way that you will that always wanted to. So you know let's do this from, let's not worry about the scarcity, let's have faith that because you are walking in your purpose, you are doing what you are supposed to be doing, that everything else is going to fall into place, because your work will speak for that. And that's when that switch happened. And now it is, again, like what I'm taking on is not too much for me to bear, essentially. And I am saying no to stuff now, just simply because, one, I don't have a twin. Two, I'm in a position where I can help others come up, right? To, or just um eat as well, I guess. And that to me is, I don't know, just more affirming and makes me feel joy and satisfaction, all that, more so than me actually doing the thing. Because everything I'm supposed to do, I do. But there are things that are not for me, and it's for somebody else. So that part is also like, it's great. So I'm like, working and then also working in another way.
Yeah. Yeah. And you've definitely been a great, how would I say? ambassador, champion,
Mhm.
if you will.
Thank you.
Like I'm always seeing you just throwing somebody out there, myself included, but just
Yeah.
like throwing these layups, these alley oops to people. Um, and the community takes notice. I keep seeing you getting community builder awards everywhere, right?
Which
Like,
is like incredibly humbling and just wow, because I'm not doing it to be seen or anything like that. It's just it just feels as natural as breathing, I guess. So I'm just operating out of a space of why not, right? Like why not uh put out as much good energy into the world? Why not help somebody else realize their dream? Why not get somebody closer to that? Yeah, like it just makes sense. The maths.
right. It's also just an awesome trajectory, right? Like to kind of have that same sort of hand at the beginning, right? To have Vita
Mm-hmm.
like throwing you oops, and then
Yeah.
to have that moment where you're like, okay, I got to do everything,
Yes.
to then realizing, well, no, I don't have to do everything, but let's help some other people, right? Like
Yeah.
it's a great trajectory, it's a great story, but also it's a pattern that hopefully we see repeating itself. Like all
Yeah.
these seeds that you're throwing, other people are gonna come up and do the same thing because that's what was done for you them, it was done
Mm-hmm.
for you before them, and so on. So I like it, you know.
Thank you.
No problem, no problem. So we're gonna take these in the order of release.
Okay.
So we've got Street Sharks coming up.
Yes.
And when I saw that, first of all, that there was a Street Sharks comic, I was like, okay, you know, as far as I know, there's no Street Sharks reboot TV series coming up,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll read a Street Sharks comic. And then it's like, oh, Stephanie Williams is writing. And I was like, of course, I'm gonna buy it. Right. Now, I remember Street Sharks because I was like 2 when it came out. So
Yeah.
like some of my earliest cartoon memories is Batman the Animated Series,
Mm-hmm.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and it's Street Sharks. And then right under that is SWAT Cats, which
Yeah.
apparently is also getting some kind of revival soon,
Yes.
which is crazy. But so I remember Street Sharks. I remember having the toys. I think they did like a Burger King kids meal joint or
They
something.
sure did.
So I had those, you know, back when you sported your fandom by grabbing the briefs, you know. So we
Yes.
had the Street Sharks underwear and all the things. But reading the comic, I was like, to be real with you, I remember what these people look like, and that's about it. Like some of these catchphrases, and that's about it. And so I was happy that I could read this issue and have a good time and
Mm-hmm.
just feel like I was in the 90s again. We had all the puns. We
Yeah.
had the very aptly named villains, like it was just a good, awesome time with skateboards and rollerblades and hockey sticks and all the things. But I have a very vague memory of Street Sharks. What's your memory of Street Sharks?
What I remember from Street Sharks is just one being in love with how cool they looked. That was the biggest thing. I was definitely somebody who would only watch a show if it was like aesthetically pleasing, whatever that meant. Because I had like, what was it, Angela Anaconda? I used to struggle to watch that.
Uh,
Um, so that I love the fact that one of them had rollerblades because yes, I'm like the only girl out of five boys. So I was always probably doing something I had no business doing, like having my brother like attaching a rope to his bike, being on the end of it with rollerblades on, and then a piece of plywood that I'm pretty sure my dad did not need us to be doing like propping it up as a ramp, but using the Menards bucket for anybody from the Chicago area. But yes, flipping that upside down. Yeah. So I remember loving it, especially because of Streaks. And then I don't know, like it was just one of those shows where like obviously they were selling you toys and it worked because we ended up getting the toys. I just remember the positive feelings of getting up on Saturday morning and that being part of the rotation. Like when I think of Street Sharks, I think of a simpler time, a better time, or at least for me, because no bills or anything like that. Like I'm still in elementary school. And yeah, like we're just having a good time. Like life is good.
Right.
Nickelodeon is doing, during the summer, 1 hour go outside and making you go outside because they're not playing anything. Like just a good vibe. So I wanted to instill that in the Street Sharks series, and for people to be able to pick it up and like truly be able to, read something for 15 minutes or however long and put it down and just be like, well, damn, I actually feel really good. Like how you watch Bluey. Like I've never watched a Bluey episode and walked away, even if it made me cry.
Right.
Never walked away from it and said, I can't believe I want my time back from watching that. It's nothing like that.
I felt that way one time though. That episode where it's like it's just the music playing, and is it Bingo that is like
Yeah.
trying to like make the water like stop with every
Yes.
towel in the house, and she keeps running. Oh, now I guess
Okay,
now,
that's from a parent's perspective. Then yes, I can absolutely understand why that irritated you because same. But in general, you're walking away feeling pretty good watching Bluey.
that's true. That's true. So, yo, my 4-year-old calls lawn gnomes husbands, and it's very problematic. Like, I didn't even anticipate that being a thing. Like why? We're like, why are
Because
we
they
doing
almost the
this?
same height.
I guess they are, but and I was like, why?
Oh,
My
it's
wife was like, why is she asking for a husband? And I was like, what? And then I went to the store. She's like, oh, daddy, you can have a husband. I was, oh, she's talking about the gnomes. They did that on Bluey one time.
ah,
Like, it was a,
well,
yeah,
now
but
that tainted your home.
just means I got to stop letting the TV play all the time.
Yes, big facts.
Right, right. But yeah, no. So Street Sharks. Street Sharks is it. Reading the first issue, like I said, I had a lot of fun with it. I think in my early review, I was like, you can pull out your '90s bingo card and just run with it, and
Yeah,
I appreciated that, like, because it was again, if you're not familiar with the property, it's like what reason do you have to go to it, and
yeah,
it's like, well, because it's fun, and that's all it's got
yeah,
to be. Because when we
yeah,
were kids, that's all it was. It was just fun.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean, not that a grittier version of Street Sharks would not be pretty cool, but also, like this is not that, right?
Yeah.
And because that wasn't an excitement, and Mattel wanted it so that it felt like a episode that could just have been one that aired, and I was like, got it. And I was like, okay, now to like think about all the, well, too bad we can't have the Batmobile in this, but if I bring that up because playing with the toys, I
Hmm.
think I used to have either a Jab or a Ripster like riding on the hood of Batman's Batmobile, and that would be pretty cool, but that probably will never happen. But
Right.
just thinking about, just I don't know, things that I imagined when I was a kid. Like this series has been so fun to just work on because it has just been the most carefree thing. And you need that sometimes.
True. So, you're the comic historian in the
Hmm.
room. What does prep to write Street Sharks even look like? Did they give you a hard drive again this time, or are you just
No.
like going off memory? How is this working for you?
Oh no, 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 no. So before Street Sharks, I think it's been popping, it's on like Prime Video, or at least like the first season is. I already had access to Peacock anyway, unfortunately.
Mhm.
We have all the streaming apps. So it was already on there. So I just cut it on. Son watched it with me for like all of 20 minutes, and then he said, yeah, so you can have this. I'm out. He's an animation snob. So 90s stuff, depending on what it is, he can only tolerate so much. And I was like, I get it. So just watching the episodes, and again, like just having them on in the background. Also, this is my perfect excuse to live out my dream as a marine biologist. because
Mm,
at one point I wanted to be one. So had a lot of fun, like just researching random shark facts or just aquatic facts in general to either sneak into the dialogue or come up with fish puns. A lot of dad jokes type
yes.
vibe because I mean, why not? And a lot of wrestling. A lot of wrestling. I think one of my favorite things about writing some of the scripts has just been putting hyperlinks to YouTube wrestling takes or whatever that I found.
Got you. That's fun. That's fun. So, how long is this series?
Right now it is 5 issues, but that of course can always change. And there will be, eh, well, maybe I can't say that, but anyway, five and yes, buy the comic. That's all I'll say.
Well, find the Black Comic Lord's breaking news button.
I know
I don't have one of those. I need one of those.
you do.
Right. But so what I love about it is like it takes me back to being a kid. It's like you just kind of you stumble on this thing and it's
Mhm,
like, all right, this one is now my favorite. Like my favorite as a kid was Slamu and it's
mhm.
still Slamu.
Yeah.
Like it just works. I like him. Um and I think before it was just because he looked cool. But
Yeah.
you know, who was your favorite?
My favorite was a first streaks, but since writing it, it is Jab.
Mm,
And I have a nice little moment for Jab that pops up in issue 3 that I'm very happy how it turned out. It's long overdue for Mr. Hothead, but definitely Jab.
nice. Nice. And so I said we're taking these week by week. So
Yeah.
Street Sharks is out on September 24th. And then
Mm-hmm.
right after that, we've got Roots of Madness coming
Oh,
out October
yes.
1st. And this is the book that I am most excited for. And I
Yes.
guess maybe, perhaps I'll be more excited for Temporal when I see pages from Temporal
Yeah, yeah.
because the covers are great. But I read Roots of Madness, #1, thanks to you.
Hmm.
And I don't know how you describe books, but like, and I also don't want to give too much away. But there's a moment in this book where I'm reading it, and I was just like, that's why you buy a Stephanie Williams comic book. Like, you know, the one thing that's been consistent across your work is like there will be these moments, whether it's like a funny moment for the culture, a heartfelt moment for the culture, but there are these moments all throughout your work. It doesn't matter what you're writing, like you'll feel like it's for you, you know?
Hmm.
And when I got to the part, I can't even say that. So, all right, I won't say what I was gonna say.
Are
What I
you
was
sure? Okay, all right. Because now I need to know.
listen, bro, like so when the villain when the villain's point of entry is a perm, it's like, wait, what? Like, that's just something you're not gonna get anywhere else, right? Like, just like, bro.
Strategically done that way for a reason. I think, it's funny because Roots is a culmination of things that I said I would never touch and write, which is why I knew it was something that I had to do. So one, because it deals with hair,
Mm,
to an extent, but not really. Like that's on the surface level. Two, it's a period piece. It's set in 1905, early turn of the century. It stars a young black woman during that time. That doesn't seem pretty fun to me. And it also would require me to get a little bit more intimate with some uglier sides of our history. But I didn't feel that way. I actually felt very inspired because I was thinking of it more so of just the ingenuity of it all
mhm.
and just yeah, like the cleverness, just the resilience and all of these things to just make you smile, and just make you be very proud. And it was also something that was going to be deeply personal.
Mm,
So it checked off all these things. And I was like, ooh, I don't want to touch that. But I knew that I had to. And the way that the story came to me was just such a, I guess, this is the one time I like written has been like a muse, I guess.
mm,
Like, it felt very artsy, I guess, in a way, which is kind of funny me even saying it like that. But like this felt like that. And also it just felt like so me, and how temporal touches on, you know, motherhood. And that's the thing that got me into like this path to writing comics, and how Roots of Madness is another part of my life when I was a scientist before this. So being able to explore both of those things now with an artistic voice is just yeah. So that moment, all the you're gonna get more of that, where it's just like, oh well, I didn't that was kind of I didn't know she was gonna do that.
right, right. It, and of course, I'm gonna skip all the way to the end of the book, but I
Yeah.
guess we should back up a little bit, right? Give us
Uh-huh.
like what is Roots of Madness about?
So Roots of Madness is it's like this cosmic horror that again is set in 1905. It follows this young black woman named Etta Knight, who is kind of like this chemist. Biochemistry was very early in the very early stages at that time, or at least the name. So I just went with chemist. It was inspired by kind of this alternate history thought of if Madam C.J. Walker would have been more of a chemist than an entrepreneur, like what would that possibly look like? So it's about that. It's about, just generational burden. So, all this knowledge being passed down onto you, a lot of it being, lessons of survival and just how to just get through life, and then taking that and going beyond, like pushing those things beyond the boundaries of, the folks that taught it to you. And so now you're out in the void in places that no one has ever been, in your family before you. So like that's isolating.
Mhm.
It's also scary, but it's also really thrilling and exciting because you are taking, what you learn from them and trying to alchemize more from
Yeah.
it. And I just think there's something very beautiful about that, and just speaks to us as a people because we've been doing that since forever. So that, and then weaving in our history and making fiction around our history in a way that focuses on the glass half full versus half empty.
Mhm.
And doing so in a way that I love that the Watchmen did. Some parts of Lovecraft and the way that they handle things, the way sinners handle things, even Beloved.
Mhm.
That was one of the first movies, a very heavy influence on this book, just because I just thought it was really fascinating that Toni Morrison was uh, inspired by a story that she read about a very real person in her existence, and like, how far a mother's love would go that she would kill her own child rather than have them in slavery. And then just to kind of build this story around that. It is horrific, but it just does so well, the way that she blends it, and you just go out and you look for this information yourself. So Roots is about this young woman who wants to help her people. She has good intentions, but sometimes, even though our intent is good, doesn't mean that the outcome is automatically going to be that. So what does that look like? And what does it look like when we reclaim spaces that were just hold so many painful memories? Like, what does that look like?
Mhm.
And you know, the Prince Hall Freemasons, the fellowship group that I basically, came up with for this book. I was just thinking I was reading some history on them, and just like how incredible that was that they existed in that fashion.
Mhm.
Like this. group of Black folks, highly educated, some wealthy and stuff like that. And then like, what does that look like if they, were to reclaim a space and like really focus on like this brief period just after Reconstruction and like, what does that look like for our people?
Yeah. Reading this book, I don't know, bro. Like it's weird being a Black comics fan, right? Like to live in a space that does not necessarily feel like your own,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, for me on this side of things, right? Like I am a glorified comic fan with a bunch of subscribers, right? Like I wouldn't consider myself a voice, right? But it's like people look at you that way.
Yeah.
But there's always this like, I don't know, I feel a responsibility,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I very intentionally live my life in like a multicultural context, right? Because I want my kids to see different things and go and do and achieve and all this stuff, right? But then there's always that thing, like just going back home,
Mm-hmm.
like, and that is what this book felt like for me. At least reading issue one, it
Yeah.
was like this book reminded me of like the stories my grandmother would tell about like the roots workers and people that just had like all these different herbal remedies for different things, right?
Yeah.
There is a PBS documentary, if I'm not mistaken. It's pretty short,
Yeah. I
but
think I know which one you're talking because I'm pretty sure it was in like my reference research tab.
so
Shout out to PBS.
right, amazing. While we still have them, go
Yes,
throw some money at them, please. But there's
please.
this documentary about enslaved women
Hmm.
and how they basically learned that chewing on cotton seeds was a form of birth control. And so they
Hmm.
used that as a way to resist like the forced breeding of the day, right?
Hmm.
Like, so just like being a nerd of history and,
Yeah.
you know, being a Black man and, having a mom and daughters and a wife and all of these things, it's like reading this book just felt like a hug. And,
Thank you.
sometimes you just need a hug. Um,
Sometimes you do, even with history, right?
yeah.
I'm very happy that you said that because that's what I was hoping this series feels like, even though it's a cosmic horror, it's just like, well, things gonna get a little weird, but I would still like it to feel that way. Because what influenced this book or like what really gave me the encouragement and the permission to write it was a romance author, Miss Beverly Jenkins. I had gotten to some of her contemporary writing. There's a book called The Edge of Dawn, and in it, the one of the main character, her father passes away, and and it, of course, she finds out like this was a homicide situation. So she and this guy who was protecting her are like trying to find this thing that her dad was killed for. And when they go visit one of her father's friends, he gets out a chest, and in the chest is, of course, her father's artifacts and stuff, but there is this blanket in there, and it's a slave quilt.
Mm,
So it's got all these different patterns and stuff that slaves would use to communicate when it was ready to, it's time to roll out,
mm,
essentially. And it was used as a map in that. But I just loved how Beverly really just weaved in our history so seamlessly. She does this in historical is really phenomenal, but that I don't know, like something about that just sparked something in me. Then I myself went to the library, got a bunch of books, and was just reading about, the use of slave quilts, the patterns, and just in awe of our people. Because to to put something out that everybody can see, but the fact that nobody would know what it is because one, they're not thinking that you're capable of being that smart,
mm.
and it's just like, shit in plain sight, just like the like nobody can stop the tush push. That's the way. And I'm not even a Eagles fan, I'm sorry, but like to know that it's coming, you still can't stop it. Like there's just something so indomitable about that. And it made me say, okay, I want to write a story that, someone's gonna read and learn about, their people, but walk away just feeling good.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not so much that like you said, it's a horror book, right?
Yeah.
And, so it's gonna get crazy.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
it is the family dynamic
Hmm.
in this book is like amazing, right? We got mom and dad, right? We don't got trauma
Hmm.
right at the moment, so
No,
it's
no,
great.
not at the moment.
We've got we've got all the life lessons learned. But
Hmm.
I think the thing that like just kind of stuck out to me is this idea of going from like, sort of underground roots work into no, I'm studying and I'm a chemist and I'm gonna come and make this better. But
Hmm.
like I'm still in the same tradition just with new knowledge. And I'm like, bro,
Yes.
that that right
Yes.
there, like that's what it's about. Right. Like that, but
Yes.
it's what we do. It's and I don't know. I just came at a time when I needed it, I guess. So
Yeah, I'm glad that it did. That is for me like a hope as a writer that whatever I put out is going to, I don't know, be read by somebody who needs it at that time. Because I've had so many things that were that for me. So to be able to put that back out is just that's really dope to know.
yeah,
So yeah.
it's awesome. It reminds me of just like I don't know, just like Street Sharks hits like
Hmm.
that early childhood age for me. There's a moment in life where like for whatever, well, not for whatever reason, my mom bought like every black movie ever, right?
Yeah.
Like you mentioned Beloved, that's the one that I never finished, right? Like I walked
Yeah,
in
yeah.
and there was some scene I was like, this is crazy, like
I can believe that.
yeah. So that's not one that I go back to, but like I think of like piano lesson, like not the
Hmm.
new one, the joint with Alfred Woodard and
Yeah.
Charles Dutton. Like what's the other one? There's this other movie. Mom used to watch Lifetime movies and stuff too.
Yeah, and they used to be like fire too. Oh my God. I
Down to
can't think of the
Delta, that's
names,
another
but like
one.
I can, Down and Delta is definitely one.
Mhm.
I can like see them in my mind, but I'm blanking on some of the names. But essentially, yes, that
Yeah.
like that's I'm hoping I don't know, like the book just like it feels like that. It feels like something that you gravitate towards because it feels both familiar and I don't know, refreshing. So yeah. And also like, man, Julia Neca, that cover is insane. All of the covers have been insane. I'm actually number two, and then the issue we haven't y'all haven't seen it yet, but it's the cover for issue three. Ugh. Like these pieces need to be in someone's museum. Like they're just hauntingly gorgeous.
Mhm. And that's the overall vibe of the book, right? Like when you see
Yes.
it, it just looks and feels important.
Thank
Like
you.
like when you walk in when you walk in the living room
Yeah.
and your mom and your grandma and everybody's sitting in front of the TV just quiet, it's
Hmm.
like, okay, we are watching Roots. Got it.
Yes,
Be
yes,
quiet. Don't come in
yes.
here loud, you know?
You
Like,
know what? I This was actually traumatic. Rosewood. Do you remember that
oh,
movie?
yes, yes.
That movie had me messed up for, I think I saw it when I was like maybe 7 or 8. I don't know, but like I was deeply traumatized by that. But that
Mm.
is a movie that we all watched as a family, and I understood why and everything. But yes, Roots of Madness is not going to be like Rosewood, so don't
That's
do
great.
not worry. Not at all. In fact, it's funny for a book that takes place in 1905. It didn't dawn on me, and this like wasn't intentional, but I don't know, maybe subconsciously it was. I think you see a white person 3 times, possibly.
I mean, that tracks.
Yeah. Just because like it just wasn't important to the story. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't. There's no reason really for them to be there. So, that type of thing, which again is given the time period or whatever. I guess it's just a lesson in like we don't have to continue to make things the way that we've been conditioned to see them.
Hmm.
if that rings true. So yeah.
Like, you know, if black people are anything, it's a joy-filled people, and that
Yes.
doesn't have to change just because crazy stuff is going on.
Yes. Yes. Period. Exactly that. Mhm.
Facts. So, on that note, right, we've got the period piece, and now we've got time travel with temporal.
Another thing I said I would never write.
Right. Okay. Why wouldn't you write time travel?
Because of time travel, because of the same kind of silly, and I call it silly now because it's just like it's fiction, so you can do whatever you want. But the whole thing of, if time travel existed, then the very first thing you would do as a black person is go back and try to like stop slavery from happening.
Right.
Because, well, yes, but also I'm gonna go back and play the lottery with whatever, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
there'll be other things that I would also do. And that, it could still be a fun sci-fi romp with
Mhm.
time travel and black folks because it's fiction and why not?
Right.
Yeah.
So, give us the synopsis of temporal.
So Temporal is about this woman named Savannah who used to be an ex-time thief, her and her husband, because in the world that they live in, time travel is very much the entire economy. Yes, so time travel came about because of some experiments in trying to stop global warming. And in true fashion, we solve one problem and then we create a whole nother that we didn't even know we did that. And part of that is people like retro culture and all vintage stuff has like that is also a part of like this economy and like it's a driving force. So being able to travel back in time to get things like, to steal a DeLorean, or a Game Boy or whatever, like these are things that people pay for in time travel vacations. And funny enough, that was like, I really love Time Cop. And one of the more fascinating things I found about the movie is like, I don't know, like, what if this was an economy? What if the police officers had a different purpose than what they did, the time travel cops? And that's just kind of got what got me to thinking, and also the fact that I am Savannah. Like when I go to comic conventions, I turn into Laura Croft, and I'm looking for Game Gears and all this different stuff for my son, who's big in retro gaming. So if I don't do anything else, I'm going to make a story relatable. So this is a mom wondering, like, hey, currently love my life right now. Like things are good, but also I was a bad bitch back in the day. So like, do I still have it?
Mm.
And her son wants this retro game that her and her husband, like, sure, they could go back in time and get it, but like they're living a straight life now. He's a school teacher and they get him a replica. And she sees on his face that he's, not happy about that. And she's like, okay, well, two things. on the on the surface, I'm going back in time to get this because I want my son to be happy. But below that, I'm going back in time to do this because I need to prove to myself that I haven't lost anything. And even though I have these new roles as wife, mother, owner of this antique shop, like I am still me at my core, which was this bad bitch that used to go back in time and steal stuff. So
Yeah.
that is that is essentially it. And she does, but sometimes when we open up the door to the past, we let in trouble that we didn't know even existed, and probably would have left us alone if we would have left well enough alone. So Savannah ends up learning that lesson, and yeah, things get a little wild and crazy.
Okay. All right. So, we got a serious question and we got a
Yeah,
fun
yeah,
question.
yeah, yeah.
Which would you like first?
I will take the fun question.
Okay. So, going back in time to retrieve artifacts lost to history, or
Mhm.
just maybe something you just wanted as a kid, what would you go back and get?
Oh, one of those old MacBooks, the color,
Oh,
like
the
it was,
iMac joint?
yeah, the iMac, it was fat as hell. And yes, yes, because I want to play, I don't know, freaking Oregon Trail on it or whatever. But I was like, this would have set my room off.
Listen, man, when they had the Disney Channel original movies, I feel like Xena had
Yes,
one of those or something.
she did.
Yeah,
Yes.
that that did look cool. The
Okay.
version with all the colors. I want a Talk Boy.
Oh my, yes.
My cousin
Well,
had a Talk Boy, but I
I
didn't have
had the girl, whatever the girl version
the
was.
Talk Girl.
Yes. Would wow. Come on, names.
Very aptly named. Yeah, I want a Talk Boy. And all I would say is like credit card, sure. That's all I would
Yes,
say
you
on
know
it.
what? Absolutely. Yes.
But this is Mr. McAllister, the father.
Man, they were selling us merchandise. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah. Effortlessly.
just listen. Take my
Yes.
mom's money, okay?
Yes.
All of it. M&M's minis,
Yes.
all the things that we were a soup. I never got a super soaker. Like, and they had so
Neither.
many super soakers. We wasn't allowed to have guns in my house.
Yes.
A watering.
Okay, so we could have them, but like I don't think we ever had like the name brand versions. It was like whatever my dad got off of Stony Island. And again, if you're from the Chicago Inland area, you already know what I'm talking about.
Listen, and I need my Bulls. I had a Bulls starter coat. It was reversible.
Yes.
There was that summer when me and all my cousins went and got Baldies. We wanted
Yes.
to be like Mike. Yeah, I need that jacket specifically back.
I had a Blackhawks one and a Bears one. That Bears one, I actually want that back. But yeah, so see how this works?
Right.
There would be plenty of interest to go back in time to steal original vintage things. And
Yes.
they would just be frivolous things
Mhm.
because why not?
Yeah. Yeah. I'd pay good money. I'd
Yeah.
pay good. You know what? Today I would pay good money for that T-shirt Michael Jackson had on the Beat It video with the piano.
Yes.
Like I need that. There's a lot. There's a lot that I need.
Yeah. Moon shoes, all that.
all of it. All of it. LA Gears with the light up,
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
bro. All right. So the serious question. Um, we're talking about, this woman. Um, Remind me of her name in Temporal.
Savannah.
Savannah. He's a good man, Savannah. Yes.
Yes.
So
That's intentional. So
that
yes.
is great. Okay. So yeah, so Savannah's going back in time, but she's trying to prove to herself that she still got it because she's
Mhm.
been a wife and a mom for so long. What was the thing that you had to prove to yourself that you still had?
Oh, the desire to write.
Mm,
Yeah, the desire to write, because I'm pretty sure this is a lot of households, but like I was, told and like encouraged to pick something that would be gainful, allow me gainful employment.
mm,
And science, the medical field was definitely that. I was originally like pre-med. And I think I switched maybe my junior year and I was like, I like the research side of things. Talk to nobody. You can have headphones on the whole time. And at the time, like podcasts were kind of taking off. So I
mm.
was like, oh, that's pretty nice. But I had always like had like if it wasn't writing poetry or just journal entries or making comics using the Sims video game, which I didn't even know I was actually doing at the time, but I would like screenshot whatever moment the Sims were doing and like write something at the bottom. So I was already doing what I was doing on Twitter long before Twitter existed. So there's that.
Crazy.
So but yeah, like for me, it had to prove like I still had the desire to write and then also that I would make something of it. I didn't know what it was going to be exactly, whether it was going to be a romance novel or just something I'm deeply ashamed on AO3, some fanfic or whatever. But I just wanted to prove that I could still pick up, a pen or type on a keyboard and do this thing, tell my story, whatever that was, and however that was going to be.
Nice. No, you've definitely done that
Yeah,
and,
thank you.
and done it well. So, you've been comic historian
Mhm.
extraordinaire. media personality, writing all sorts of
Yeah.
stuff, right? Writing the book about the book, and
Mm-hmm.
then
Mm-hmm.
writing the book, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've done a lot, and you're doing a lot. But like this next era, these creator-owned books, like it just feels special.
Thank
What
you.
and how has it been, or what's the exciting part for you, right? Because it's like you've been telling a lot of other people's stories for a minute,
Mm-hmm.
some that we've seen, some that we'll never see unless we join, like, I don't know, AFL-CIO or something.
Yeah.
How is it writing these stories that are deeply personal and now getting that audience?
Well, of course, scary as hell, but even through that fear that again, that's just like, okay, well, then that's exactly why you got to do it because it is so scary. It's just really affirming because especially like Mad Cave and Ignition Press both came to me and said, "Hey, do you have any original stories that you want to tell?" So the fact that for my first two originals, like a publisher thought of me and said, "Well, what else can she do? Can she what could she do if she didn't have any IP restraints essentially?"
Mhm.
So that was just reaffirming to me that everything that I was doing was what I was supposed to be doing to lead me to that. And then it's just been I don't know, like incredibly fun. Because
Mhm.
again, like super scary, but also very, very fun because I'm building worlds. And for me, like when I'm writing, I try to let the story, like, I outline and stuff, like I know what's going on, but I'm somebody who is not afraid to pivot, or if the story as I am telling it really begins to take form and the shape is a little different than what I thought it was going to be, to just keep going with that and helping the story kind of take shape and exist in the way that it's supposed to. And being able to do this with stories of my own imagination and from me has just been like, wow. Like, okay, I get it. Like, I understand why you was getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, Toni Morrison, to write before anybody got up, Um, N.K. Jemisin, like I completely get it why you have just been a titan in your lane and your genre. Like Octavia Butler, like I get it. I get why you had to write these stories that have essentially been have unfortunately become our reality to an extent. Like, and it just makes me have a greater appreciation for all of the writers that have had some type of impact on my life, and that they had the opportunity to tell their story and tell it in the way that they wanted to.
Yeah, yeah. No,
So,
it's it's
yeah.
it's a legacy you're certainly carrying on, right? And speaking of legacy, you know, Micah is just out here, just
Yeah,
flourishing,
sometimes getting more interactions at the convention than me. I
right?
said, okay, young man, you got it. It's just
Hosting
also
panels.
been, I know, okay. It's just really been great to see him flourish and grow. We did Boise Comic Fest Arts Festival in August. That was the last convention I had, and I did a school visit. And of course, he went with me, and he also talked. So, like, we did this joint talk presentation where, I talked about comics and making them, and then would like pitch it off to him, and he would talk about what it's like to actually write a comic and make a comic and draw, and how to get your parents into what you're doing or get them involved in some type of way, because sometimes kids got to see somebody who looks for real like them, like same height,
Hmm.
all of that, to really also inspire them. So I just thought that that was really cool to instill in him early on that it's good to inspire others and encourage them in the same way that you were inspired and encouraged.
True, true. Does it not scare you to have him like just all? public and stuff?
No, it doesn't because I this was something that, if it wasn't me, I feel like he would still find the spotlight in some way. I've always felt that way about him. Since like I knew I was pregnant, he just felt he felt like someone who wanted to be here and wanted to have some type of impact. Like I remember him wanting to do so much more than he could. Like, dude, you can't walk yet. Like, stop trying to do that. Or, legitimately trying to have conversations with us, and like he still couldn't really, talk. When he decided that he wanted to like really get into video games, he really got into video games. And he was never afraid to speak up for himself, to share his ideas. He just has I don't know, like a light about him and this determination, this knowing of self that I just find inspiring because I'm like to have that at his age, like that is insane to me. Who'd
Mm.
you get that from? Because because mommy and daddy, we are still like we're just now getting there, and it seems as though you've been born with this. So, if it wasn't me, he would have found his way to to center stage regardless. So at least this way I can have a little bit more of a watchful eye. But yeah.
That's an interesting perspective. I think, it just comes down to moms know their kids, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Like, because with my second, my wife was like, this is gonna be the one that needs the most discipline. And she's like 3 months pregnant. And I'm like, how
Yeah.
what are you talking
How do
about?
you know? Yeah.
Right. How do you know? And no, it's absolutely true.
Mm.
Right. My I got a 7-month-old who just loves to be loved. Like she just
Hmm.
loves kisses and being affectionate and just
Yeah.
it's just like, but again, my wife knew that like in the womb, like this
Hmm.
one's just gonna want to be up under you. And it's just like, okay, I trust you. I'm
And she was right.
absolutely right. 100%.
Yeah.
Like 1,000,000%. That's not how percentages work, but hey,
Yeah.
you know. So it does warm my heart though, like to see y'all out there just
Thank you.
doing stuff together. And then it's also fun to see like, oh yeah, he's not here. He wanted to go roller skating. So
Oh, listen, listen. I forgot what event or what it was, but he was like, "Yeah, I'm good." My friend and I like we're supposed to be getting on Minecraft later on around that time. You go do your little comic thing, but I'm here at the here at the house. And now is he all summer he was trying to teach himself like game design. And I'm talking about using Python, which I'm like, Micah, that requires calculus and you ain't learned that yet.
mm,
But then took it upon himself to find some YouTube videos of people teaching folks calculus. And I was like, oh, okay. This is what I mean. Like he just has that drive within that I pray and I hope he never loses because he's confident. Like if I want to learn something and figure it out, I'm gonna figure it out.
mhm.
So and I love that about him.
Yeah, that's that's interesting. Like, cause parenting, it's about shepherding and it's about stewardship, right? Like you're
Yeah.
looking at this being. It's like, okay, God gave me this being.
Mm-hmm.
What am I supposed to do with it? Right. And then
Oh yes.
it's like, well, no, he had a plan for them. And so
Mm-hmm.
it's on you to like, guide them toward that plan.
Yeah.
That is wild instructions. What are you talking about? I don't even know me.
Yes.
Right. So it's it's interesting because I don't know how you steward determination and creativity.
Oof. And you know what? It takes an active hand.
Hmm.
Like making sure that we are locked into, what it is that he's into. And I mean, And, with my husband and I are in a position where we can spend that type of time with him in a way that both of our parents couldn't because they were busy working outside of the home and just trying to keep a roof. And like we are also doing the same, but both work jobs where we get to work from home.
Mhm.
So that's created a different type of rhythm and schedule where we can be locked in what he's doing and vice versa for him. My husband produces music, so sometimes I'll walk in and him and Micah are like just making beats together. Right? Or because we're all gamers, we'll have, family night and we're just really I don't know, like we're just really tapped in to like what he likes, what he doesn't likes, when he needs to be pushed, when you need to back off and things like that. And trial and error, but I'm just thankful that we're able to give him that type of attention where we can pick up on little things and nudge him in a direction that he needs to go in.
Yes. Well, listen, y'all are doing a great job. You know,
Yeah, I appreciate that because sometimes I'll be like, oof, I don't know.
if you needed a pseudo stranger to tell you, twice a year when he sees you, good job with that boy. There you go.
I appreciate that.
So
Now, having to say, hey, you know, have you taken a shower yet? It's not fun, but
that's
kids are kids, right?
you know, you'll be saying that a little bit longer than you think you should be saying that.
I know, I know. Well, boys. So, yeah.
Well, we got Temporal, we got Street Sharks, we got Roots of Madness all coming. Warriors and a We Wonder. I've been reading that
Yeah.
on DC Infinite. That's out. I I gotta be honest with you. Well,
Uh-huh.
I said this last time, right?
Uh-huh.
The Wonder Woman. I still, every time I try to read Wonder Woman, I feel like, what am I missing? Like
Yeah.
ancient history is what I'm missing, apparently. And it's like, okay, but this is I've been having fun with.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's just a fun little scroller. So
Yeah.
I've been enjoying it.
Thank you.
But yeah, you got more custom comics coming up, I'm sure. What else is in the works? What can you tease that we don't know about yet?
Ugh. Uh, damn. I don't know what I can say without giving anything away. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Some more horrors on the way. Some more sci-fi is definitely on the way. Another creator own will be on the way, possibly even a graphic novel.
Okay.
An original graphic novel. More kids stuff, of course.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that is all I'm gonna say because yeah. And again, it's just been funny because some of these things have been, you know, a possible maybe, and like they're just now getting a yes. Because like that's publishing is very you wait a long time and everything's due at once.
Mm,
So yeah, I definitely can't give that away. But February is going to be a great time.
okay.
Not just because it's Black History Month, but also some of the stuff that I have coming out that month. One of them, I'm actually glad that it's coming out in Black History Month because it just makes sense. I did
Okay.
not pitch it for that, and that wasn't in the forefront of my mind, but specifically because of what I wrote and who is in it, like coming out in Black History Month is actually perfect. So kudos to the marketing and everyone else at this one company that I won't mention because if I do, then you'll probably guess what it is.
Okay.
And also another thing that is yeah, pretty cool to have coming out in February as well. All black things. So, of course, right? Duh.
Listen, that's when black things come out. That works for me.
That's what's on the calendar.
The month of blackness. Is,
Yes.
is it a leap year? Will we get an extra day next? No, that's not. That's not next year.
Dang, no. All right.
It's all good. It's all
All
good.
right.
Well, we got a whole lot coming from Stephanie Williams. I'll have to book you back here. Let's say
Yeah.
December if we're talking about February solicits.
Yeah, actually, let's do that. Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll
Yeah.
hold you to it.
Because I
Uh,
really want to talk about this thing like badly.
hey, Listen,
Yeah.
this is the place to talk,
All
you know?
right.
So before we go, I have a funny
Mhm.
story.
Oh,
So
okay.
somebody hit me up uh
Hmm.
the other day asking me to introduce them to you.
Uh-huh.
And I won't spoil it because I don't want to spoil nobody else's podcast. Just know they're a better
Ah,
and more,
yes.
well-researched person than me, right? But when this dude hit me up, he was like, "Hey, how well do you know Stephanie Williams? And do you know the restraint it took to not be like, oh, that's my cousin?"
I wish you would have said it.
Uh, I think what I said, I was like, what did I say? I said, we don't go on family vacations or anything, but she's very supportive.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, okay, okay, cool. And I was like, oh, I'll make the introduction. Like, she would
Yeah.
love to be
Yeah.
on your show. Like, we can do it. But it's funny because it's like you have to find ways to sort of navigate this weird thing where it's like the fans have become the press, and like
Yeah.
it's like, okay, how do you?
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't get paid by anybody to do this,
Yeah.
but here we are having to talk to people all the time. It's like, how do you navigate that? And so it's like, all right, I'm just gonna start calling everybody my cousin so people can understand why I'm
Hmm.
protective of people, right?
Yes.
Like, we gotta walk around in these spaces. I'm online, folks get to talking reckless, right? And so
Yeah.
it's like, you gotta know where things stand,
You
like,
do.
because folks get too comfortable.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Like the time I was at a convention and someone performed their entire treatment for a movie. It was a Batman movie. Yes. They did all of the voices, they did all of the sound effects. Uh, it was quite the experience.
Mm,
Hmm. And
interesting.
they also sung an original song, and they had the artwork to go with it. So
Well,
yes, it's you know
when that comic comes
never a
around, I'll know where you stole it from.
exactly. Never a dull moment in comics.
Right, right.
Online at the conventions, on the comic page, it's something for everybody.
You know what we didn't touch on?
What?
You have an Edible Man story coming up.
I do. Oh my God, I didn't even know that was out yet.
It's not out. I just
Okay. Oh, because the Kickstarter, yes, but okay. Well, depending on when we talk about that, yes, which is hilarious. So I will give you the backstory on that. I was actually, I kid you not, what I don't remember what convention I was at. Maybe this was Boise, but I remember I was watching the pilot and the edible man moment happened, and I literally said aloud, I was like, shit, I kind of want to write that. Had no idea. And then that Monday I got home, I got an email and was like, hey, really would love to have you a part of the comic shop anthology, so on and so forth, or whatever. So get the story, and it's Edible Man. I
that's great.
said, who knew? So yes, if you are a fan of Blank Man, I'm giving that energy, but in 2025, like relevancy. But just think if the Wayans were to do this type of the vibe, because I feel like that's a movie they would do. That's a comic they
Absolutely,
would do. Yeah.
absolutely. I'm gonna have to cut that out because ain't nothing been announced. I was just guessing stuff, but
Oh, well, shit, you got me. But yes, you will have to cut that out. I think the Kickstarter is supposed to go up maybe at the end of the month or sometime next week. So you might, I'll double check.
we'll
I'll
see.
let you know.
We'll
Yeah.
see.
But you guessed right. You guessed correctly. You got me. Like the moment I was asked, I was like, it's an immediate yes. In fact, you didn't have to talk to me. You could just put my name and I would have found out that I was supposed to be a part of this thing. And I would have been like, okay,
Yeah. No, it's that show is so fun. Like
yes.
it's it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know, you just want to be involved, right?
Yeah.
And I
And I
think
love that it celebrates indie comics too, because they pop up all over the place.
right, right.
Yeah.
I've seen so many books that I've only previously seen on Kickstarter just all
Hmm.
over the comic shop.
Yeah.
Like they just shot it in a black-owned comic shop. It just like you said, it just feels like that warm hug. We
Yeah.
need warm hugs sometimes.
Yep.
So I'll be on the lookout for that announcement. I know the Kickstarter is in pre-launch right now, so I'll link to that in the
Hmm.
show notes. And yeah, once we get some more concrete announcements, we'll have Mrs. Stephanie Williams back to talk about it all. And yeah,
Yes.
thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being you. Thank you
Yeah.
for just carrying what you carry so well. I had the chance to introduce my daughter to you this past summer. And
Yes.
even that, even just walking around Heroes with my kid and being able to be like, here's
Mhm.
Stephanie, and here's Ryan, and here's Sanford Green, and here's Daryl
Yeah.
Banks, and just I don't I don't think I realized in the moment like
Yes.
how crazy that is and was. Like, but yeah, I appreciate you all for making the space what it is and really showing that it's possible.
That is like my motto or whatever, like to get as many black people into comics as possible.
Yeah, we need to be
Yeah.
there. We need to be there. So, with that said, all love and thanks to Miss Stephanie Williams. You can find her not on Twitter. Where are
No.
you these days?
I am on Instagram and of course Threads. But that's usually because Instagram automatically reposts whatever I post on Instagram on Threads. So that's at Steph underscore I underscore Will. I am on Blue Sky. I don't know what the handle thing is over there. Just look for Stephanie Williams. And where else? TikTok, but I have not posted anything in forever. That will probably be changing very soon, especially if the marketing director over at Ignition Press has anything to say about it. 'Cause she's like, girl, what are you doing? So that might change. And it's the same handle as I have on Instagram.
Okay. Awesome. So I will do my due diligence and leave all those links in the show notes. You guys go check out again. It's a Stephanie Williams triple feature starting next
God
week.
damn.
So go get Street Sharks on September 24th. Roots of Madness is out October 1st, and then Temporal is out October 8th. The Warriors and a Wee Wonder is on your DC Universe app right now.
For free.
Along with yeah, it's free.
It's free. Them
That's what's
things are
up.
free. DC Go titles free, free of charge.
That's what's up. And then if you go to the National Park Service, you can find a custom comic, I'm sure, somewhere. And that's gonna
Yeah.
be it for this episode. Y'all stay safe, stay awesome, and read something dope today. Peace.